Hi everybody, welcome to the channel. This week's a very special week. Let me tell you why. We're gonna be having a full moon in the sign of Leo for the Vedic followers and Virgo for Western followers. So there you go. So, Arya, what is a full moon? What's all this rave about this, and why is this full moon very special? Good question, babies. Good question. Let me tell you why. So, the moon has cycles that keep repeating, and it starts from a new moon where you can't necessarily see the moon at all. That kind of phase, right? You remember that, right? And then it moves to waxing crescent, then the waxing gibbous phase, then to the full illumination of the moon, which is called the full moon, right? And then it goes to waning gibbous phase, then waning crescent, and then to the new moon again. And this cycle constantly repeats itself in and about 30 days, every 30 days, right? It keeps on repeating. So the significance of the full moon is such that the moon, as represented in tarot and astrology, represents hidden feelings, emotions, truths that are under the surface, intuition, memories, what one needs to feel secure. It's our emotional needs, it's our emotional expression, it's our internal self. How are we receiving the world, right? It's one thing that things happen to us in our 3D reality, but how do we perceive it? How do we feel about it? That's the moon, right? We subconsciously always seek those people, places, and situations in order to fulfill our own needs, in order to feel stable and secure, As they say, we are all searching for a stable ground at the end of the day, right? The full moon is the full illumination of all of these things that I initially said and talked about the full moon and the moon, what it represents, right? So it's basically enlightenment and illumination and recognition of all those subconscious, preconscious, and unconscious memories, and the need to bring it out to our conscious reality in order for us to become more aware and contemplate and adjust our sails if need be. It's the divine feminine energy that we all have within us, male or female. I don't care about your sex or gender, I don't care. We all have divine feminine while divine masculine energy within us, divine masculine being the sun. So there you go. And it's our ability to relate to and love others that comes from the moon, right? It's our ability to how we relate to our environment that comes with the moon. So we got to keep it clean. Yes, in order for us to receive the goodness of our environment, we need to keep it clean. We need to be aware of how are we perceiving things, and if there is something difficult within us, then we need to process it and let it go so that we can move on to next better thing, right? Because we have good feelings to experience too, right? So it's a choice. Again, it's a choice to go down that moonscape, to go down that secret lane about things that we have been carrying within ourselves, good for us, bad for us, anything, whatever. And it's a total lunar eclipse too that's happening. That happens probably every few years, that total lunar eclipse. That's what's happening this year too. So it is going to have a very significant effect on all of us since it's a total lunar eclipse. Usually it's penumbral, umbral, or partial lunar eclipse. So it doesn't have that kind of effect, but this year it's going to be very significant. So wherever you have Leo for Vedic followers, and then Virgo for Western followers, wherever it is placed in your chart, astrological chart, look at the house that it's in, that sign is sitting in. That's where you're going to feel it the most, and that's what's going to be transformed the most, and that's what's going to carry that potent energy of, things need to shift here, or we need to shift our beliefs about how we associate ourselves with this particular house and the elements of this house. So yeah, there you go. Depending on your moon sign and rising sign specifically, you can look at that. Your moon chart as well. That also counts by putting your, excuse any background noise, by putting your moon sign in your first house, and that's how you calculate where your basically full moon is happening. That will affect your internal self and how you feel like things are affecting you on a personal basis. While rising sign manifests itself in the 3D reality, so what's going to happen in the 3D world around you. Now, we can understand where things might need our focus at the moment and how we can better deal with the elements associated with those houses, right? So whatever that we have been suppressing, repressing, not looking towards, avoiding, being in that delusion or denial about, we need to get a hold of all those truths, baby. We need to look at all of those things today, yes? So I'm going to be including tarot as well in this, but the thing is, again, we need to look at the astrological placements as well. I'm not doing the astrology reading today because of certain reasons, but again, if you know how to read your chart, then you can get an idea about things related to every houses. That's what's going to be affected. The values around, the beliefs around those aspects is going to be affected the most, and that needs more transformation. And so yeah, there you go. Take what resonates, leave what does not, reverse energies as it applies, and if it does not resonate, kindly check your other placements, or I'll catch you in the next one, babies. Yes? So let's go. Hi Gemini, so as explained in the intro, let's go and look at your any sort of truths that we need to consider or reconsider here with the moon and the ace of swords. Let's look at what the full moon is illuminating in our mind space, right? About some truths or any truths for that matter that we need to confront. I keep on seeing this Queen of Pentacles for you, so something related to your self-worth. The Ace of Swords for the Ace of Swords. Okay, the Chariot, the Two of Pentacles. So this Gemini is telling me that they have a very strong heart space, a very bold chariot within them, which is the, the Chariot is basically our biggest and the most boldest of our heart space, and it's our most boldest of emotional direction that we have within us, and it's the major arcana, so basically it's spiritual as well as mental, emotional and physical, right? As above, so below. So with a strong realization of the truth, you understand that your heart points towards a particular direction here, but you don't know how to move towards it. It's like, it sears your mind. It sears your mind that, you have a lot of feeling, a strong feeling to move towards something or somebody here, but we don't know how to bring it into the reality for some reason. Have we broken off from it? Is this a person or is this a goal that we feel like it could fail? It could really badly fail. So I don't know if I should be moving towards it, because I feel towards it. I feel really strongly towards it, but I don't know if I should be pursuing it or if I should bother putting in my 2 cents and putting in the effort to bring it into my reality, to even try to coax it out of my own sense of feeling space into the 3D world, right? It's the pentacles that gets you confused. It's not your feeling, honey. It's not your mind. You understand that this is the direction. You understand that you have a very strong feeling for it. But I feel like it's an active moon of yours that you are really aware of, highly aware of. And for some reason, you get hooked up or stuck on how to bring it into the 3D world. You don't know what to do with it. What do you need to let go of? Well, anything that needs to be changed. Okay. You're telling me that's why, right? There's some sort of self-deception with regards to, let's look at that. I have 2 contrasting thoughts about this, so I don't know which one's true here. For some of you, communicating, you are thinking about communicating and sharing your truth to somebody, but you get hooked up on the 3D reality. What do I say, what do I do, things like that. Okay, so it's like, I feel like it's an after effect of realization about your feelings, and I feel like, whatever or whichever direction you want to move towards, you feel like it's false at this point, because a lot of time has passed with the Wheel of Fortune. It's like I was too slow to arrive to this conclusion that my heart points out to this situation, towards this person or towards this goal of mine, and I feel like I'm way too late. I'm too old for this now. Arya, I'm too old for this, to pursue this goal, to pursue this person anymore. I think I've lost my chance. I have lost my mojo. I have lost my all hopes because I lost my time. And for some reason, you are talking yourself out of it because it's self-sabotage. I wouldn't be seeing 5 of Swords if it was really based in reality. I don't think you have proof of it. I feel like that's what you tell yourself, that, you can't necessarily move towards somebody or something. Yeah, for some of you, with a cycle closed out and you feel like you can't pursue it again. But the thing is, you still have a very bold heart space towards this and very strong recognition about it as well. It's like, I feel all of these feelings, but I don't know what to do with it. I don't know how to proceed with this, because I feel like I'm not allowed to proceed with this. I'm not allowed to move in this direction for some reason. But the thing is, honey, your heart is still pointing out towards this person, which means it's correct for you. It's correct for you. It does not matter what they, them, that goal thinks of you. You have to take chances in your life. How are you supposed to live a fulfilling life if you don't take chances? Yes, there are going to be failures and, you know, a lot of successes too in between of those failures. You never know what's gonna click and what's not gonna click. And what you also never know what's gonna re-click, right? You can't make assumptions beforehand. And that's how you know, establish yourself for failure. You should not be, one must not be doing that, because I feel like you have a very beautiful energy. You might have some earth in your chart, Cancer as well, particularly. But again, not the point. You have a very strong mind. Use it for your advantage, honey. I'm a Gemini moon. I understand that air energy. I understand that sword energy too. It's like you really understand a lot about your own sense of truth. But the thing is, you are gatekeeping it because you feel like you're not supposed to act on it, or you can't express it for some reason. But ask yourself, is it fair to you at the end of the day? Does keeping this feeling within you and not trying or not having to take a chance or take a leap of faith towards whatever it points to, whatever your heart points to, is that fair to you? Are you giving yourself, are you showing yourself that fair chance? Are you showing yourself justice by keeping yourself at bay from things that you desired so deeply? You have a very stable ground. You understand the stability principles of 3D world, and I feel like that's why you get stuck. It's like, I understand that I can stabilize it, but the thing is, again, that's his personal light, right? That's the king's personal light. You might have some Taurus in your chart, not the point. But I feel like you were very slow to arrive to this conclusion that your heart is pointed towards this situation. And now you're like, how do I bring this into reality? If this even wants to be in my reality anymore, I don't know. I don't think they would respond to me. I don't think it would reach back to me. So I don't feel like I need to act in this. What you need to be manifesting? Well, the Queen of Swords, the Tower, and the Star here. What's the Tower here? It's some sort of desire. You still desire it. It's still with you. So I'm getting an idea that things went down prior to this quite badly. It ended quite badly. Whatever it was, it might have been a goal, and it basically stopped abruptly and disastrously, and you are fearful of, you know, surpassing and letting it transform you, and still believing in the vision of this, because I feel like it's still there. This vision still calls to you, but for some reason you're like, I don't think so. Yeah, it personally fulfills you, man. I'm telling you. Yeah, it requires a change on your part. It requires a change on your part. You need to change your ways. You need to change your own internal dialogue. A strong transformation is waiting to happen in your life. It's like that mental, you have a very strong mind. I know that. And that's why it can act against you as well. I hope you know that. Because I feel like you're using your mind against yourself as well. You understand that you have feeling. That part you are honest about, right? But what you're not being honest about is, oh, this thing will not approach me ever again. This person will not reciprocate, or this goal will never reach back for me. Even if I put in the effort in this goal, whatever it is, I don't think I'll get any results. I have a heart for it. I desire it every day. I look forward to people doing those same things from my front porch or from my balcony, and I'm like, yeah, I just wish and want and desire for that to come true for me. But the thing is, it's in your hands. You still long for this situation. It's a higher purpose thing. It drives you internally and spiritually. It feels like you're a part of something greater than yourself. You know, whatever this is, it personally also, emotionally speaking, fulfills you. That's the minor arcana for the Star here. And whenever you think on it, you are like, yes, that makes me happy. Thinking about it makes me really, really happy. But I have a fear of rejection. I have a fear of failure here. That's quite strong within you. Again, we need to look into that insight of I feel like some of you have a really strong pattern. Look at this, look at this, look at this. We need insight. About what? About what, Arya? Well, insight about things that are hidden under the moon. And what is hidden under the moon? You have a very strong pattern. The Four of Pentacles can represent pattern as well, of failure, right? Of loss. Things will leave me, things I will have to abandon these ships if I ever get into these. So why get into it to begin with, right? It's like I'm going to just watch from my balcony. That's what you're doing, right? Didn't I give you that example? You are just watching from your balcony. It's like, let's just say I like to play soccer or football, and I'm just watching these people, adults as well as kids, play that game in front of my building, and I'm just watching them. I want to play. I know how to play it. I know how to play it very well, and my heart points towards it. I feel like I could do really well in it. But even though I'm skilled, even though I have these feelings that I want to pursue that, you know what, I don't have time, I can't open up emotionally. That's what you're telling yourself. You're feeding yourself these lies in order to, excuse yourself from taking action and wait for it to come to you, not necessarily for you to take action towards it. And that's a very strong pattern for you. That magical thinking of things will appear at your doorstep if things are meant for you, and also the lack of taking action towards things that you really want. It wouldn't have stayed with you for such a long time if this was not for you. I hope you know that. I hope you know that. You can't show me this much emotional fulfillment and that strong vision, that long-term vision that could sustain you for a lifetime. People die for this shit. Trust me. But the thing is, you are telling me that you don't know. You have a strong fear of rejection here. I feel like it would eventually surpass this Three of Swords and the Five of Swords, because you have a much bigger energy than you give yourself credit for. The Five of Swords is not going to sustain for long. So I would really like you to understand that eventually you're going to move towards this, but you can really minimize that time. You're telling me that you're very late to the game. You're already very late into realizing what you want and what you need for your life, right? Your emotional fulfillment in terms of your self-love, what you want to cultivate, what is your long-term vision, long-term game with regards to relationships, career, goals, whatever this is. I feel like this is applying to a lot of you at the same time. So whatever it is, I feel like you need to understand that. I feel like you can really shorten that time, minimize that time if you stop and look back at how you talk yourself out of things. You really need to strongly look at that, because you have a very strong energy, and you're telling me you're quite stable and quite resourceful and very knowledgeable of things around you. So take comfort in the fact that you have a very good head on your shoulders, honey. And you are a hard worker too for some of you. So you can put in the work. It's your heart space, right? You want to express your heart space, your vulnerability. That's what you have been feeling, and it's like you are made to sit with it endlessly with no resolution at all, with no conclusion at all, and you have to just die with it. It has to die within you. No, I'm sorry, but no. If you have something to say, then say it. I dare you, say it. You feel like they would not reciprocate? Again, that thinking of yours. Look at this, the same cards over and over again. I can't make this ish up even if I tried. That thinking about things will abandon me, this person will abandon me, this person will not reciprocate and things like that. How do you know if you don't try? How do you know? I feel like if you have perceived them as the Queen of Cups, and I feel like they're quite receptive, they're quite loving and quite forgiving. If they are a real Queen of Cups, which is very emotionally mature people, then they can always forgive. They are good at forgiving, let me tell you that very clearly. They are quite emotionally mature people. So I think they will welcome your truth. I think they will welcome your whatever you have to say, whatever you have to express. And I feel like if you ever express to them, I feel like they'll receive it. They'll receive it. Look at how she's looking at this cup. It's like this Knight of Cups is offering his cup to this Queen of Cups, and she's looking at it. So it could be in a form of message or a gesture in real life, whatever it is. The romanticism, vulnerability, those vulnerable soft words that, I realized it later down the line that I know that it's been 2 years or probably 3 years. I don't care. I don't care. I still feel things for you, and I've realized that soon. I'm sorry that it's not convenient probably for you, but it's at my time I have realized this, and here's my truth. I need to say it out loud for my sanity. That's it. Do things for your sanity, even if it's not received or reciprocated on. It does not matter. You have to do right by you. You have to do justice by you. You have to show yourself karma. Yeah, you have the strength within you, but you keep your probably in the past you were insistent on being emotionally confused about the situation, and that's what led up to the emotional walking away and the walking away in real life by this Queen of Cups figure, I feel, because you might have not realized, you might have took a very long time to realize your feelings, and it was only after the fact that you started questioning and understood the truth that was really hidden within you about your feelings and about your emotional direction, and how you were probably madly in love with this person and how you saw a future with them. You always used to talk yourself out of the vision of you both together. You have thought about it 1,000 times. It pleases you. You are pleased with the idea of having an end all be all situation with this person. But for some reason, you in the past were not like that. You always constantly kept talking yourself out of it. You were like, you know what? Yes, it would be great to have imagined this person in my future, but the thing is, it's going to end up disastrously. That's what you told yourself. And I feel like that dialogue is supposed to change here. Yeah, there is few healing that we need to make. There are things that need to be healed within you, especially that mental dialogue and the mental belief, subconscious belief of things will fail, things leave me, eventually everything, nothing lasts forever. It's that typical Five of Pentacles energy thought process. And again, we all have fear of abandonment within ourselves. Let me tell you, if somebody tells me that they don't have it, I'd probably slap them, because that's a lie. Again, that's a lie. I don't believe you. We all have fear of abandonment in some way, shape, or form within us, and that sometimes, yes, if not being aware of, it will dictate our actions in our real life, in our relationships. It will show up in the forms of behaviors, you know. For example, let me tell you, some people are really frugal with their money, extremely frugal with their money, and some people are not. So people who are frugal, who are really stingy with the money, they have a fear of losing the money, right? That's why they do it. For some people, yes, and others are quite frugal by choice. I don't know about that, but I'm talking about the people who are doing it out of that sense of losing it all. So we all have that. But that's not supposed to dictate our actions. That's not supposed to take away from our own pursuing our own sense of wish fulfillment and our desires, deepest desires, core desires. It's spiritual desire at this point. And it has stayed with you for a very long time. You've been sitting on it for such a long time. It's like, and now it's getting uncomfortable for you. So I feel like you need to look at this, whatever it is. It's a person now. It's been clarified. But the thing is, if this person is a Queen of Cups and they have such a huge heart space and high regard for emotional expression, then they will welcome your truth. They will empathize with you. So I feel like you should give it a try. F emotional abandonment and F emotional abandonment fears. It does not matter. Fear of abandonment should not dictate your actions. Right? So I hope this helped, Geminis, and that's what I have for you. I hope this helped. If this did not resonate, kindly check your other placements, or I'll catch you in the next one, baby. Yes? Take care.